Hey, I haven't uploaded in a while. And that's not much of an issue because nobody watches me. But the more important thing here is, Yellow, why are you making a video about Warhammer lore? All of your videos so far have been commentary, you fucking idiot. And I'd say to that, suck my dick, it's my channel, stupid. So today we're talking about the Rak'Gol. Obviously, you read the title, you know what it's about now. I don't really know where to start with this, but I think I'll start with their look. You literally already understand it because you're looking at the images on screen right now. But fuck you, I'll describe it anyway. So they're like really weird bald things, mantis things that have like 4 or 8 limbs. I forgot. They're also like hella white. I'm talking fucking paper out here. Their skin is also like really weird. Like weird is their body structure. Their skin is like a lizard, but not. It looks and feels like it has scales, but there are no scales. It's just skin, and it's weird. Their eyes are also really fucked up and sunken into their heads. Basically, Rackle look like shit, like actual dog shit. But what was I gonna talk about next? Oh right, what? Oh okay. So, history, yeah. So we don't know diddly dick about the Rackle's history, but we do know lots about the Imperium's interaction with them. So let's just talk about that. So first contact was the ship called the Solace of Dawn. Personally, Solace of Dawn. Personally, I think the ship is poorly named. Because of what I just did, but that's irrelevant. Anyway, the ship was found drifting in space with no power at all, and the only thing operating was the ship's salvation beacon, basically just an SOS signal. But the guys who found it got some fractured Vox logs, basically just space recordings of audio. Like Audacity, that's a shitty name for a video audio recording program. Anyway, they found the space audio logs and the Auspex data, which is like scans and techno shit. You know how we scan the ocean for stuff with some technology I forgot the name of? Basically that, but space. So the guys who found these logs were like, holy tits. Because the evidence basically screamed, new alien species that wants to murder humanity. Oh my god. But, oh, did I mention that, I'm illiterate. I can't read my own script. But basically, everybody on the ship was, like, hella dead. There was also evidence of a boarding. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so since the Solace of Dawn was found destroyed by the Rak'Gol, the Rak'Gol have murderized a few dozen other worlds, including a few other minor Xenos races that nobody cares about. Other than that, no other humans have ever had a discussion with Rak'Gol because, Rackle, why do I keep pronouncing it like that? I'm just gonna pronounce it like that from now on. Because when they stand up and come walking towards the 8-foot killing machine with 2 fucking giant blades built into its hands saying, we want a philosophical debate, they usually get fucking murdered. But even before the absolutely tragic death of the Solace of Dawn, other races like the Strixus, who also have a shitty name too. God, does everything in 40k have a shitty name? But anyway, they mentioned something called the Scourge of the Expanse, which they described as basically the Rackle, but I keep pronouncing it like that, and I think it's wrong. I'm gonna fucking look up another YouTuber later to see how they pronounce it. But basically, that are basically the Rackle, but with a few minor inconsistencies. I see this as a good way to transition to talking about their planets. Oh, okay, script. That's a really shitty transition, but okay. The Rackle. Fuck, I don't want to keep pronouncing. Yeah, no, I'll just embrace it. Let me find my place here. The Rackle planets are, well, fucking dumb. For some reason, the Rackle like to bomb the nuclear tits off of their planet. Mainly because they mostly live in orbit. Well, you live in orbit, but you can still fucking use the planet, retard. Nobody knows why they do this. The wiki also describes the Rak'Gol as deranged, which I find funny. The Rak'Gol have also established new claims on planets in the Coronis Expanse. Also, they live in the Coronis Expanse. Their colonies would be better described as camps though, because they fucking temporary. Temporary is a good word to describe them. Basically just mud huts. This is a pretty good transition in talking about where they I cannot speak. My primary language is not English. It's fucking Rak'Gol. Now, yeah, let's talk about their space stations that they mostly live on. So these space stations, are what? Yeah, what the fuck is this script? This script is shit. I'd just like to let you know that. Okay, so sometimes the Rackle build the space stations around some of the planets they live on. Not live on, they didn't really live there. They mostly just fucking killed everybody on the planet and built a space station over it. The space stations are also usually really large, but only act as homes for a relatively small population of Rackle. Similar to everything they do, space stations are placed with no regard for basically anything. Food on planets, resources, or even strategic locations. Like, they'll build these shits right next to Forge Worlds, I swear to God. But, where was I again? The station's size is also explained by its literal weapons platform, because it's basically a weapons platform. Basically, everything is bursting with guns. Also, for some reason, they Hiroshima the shit out of the planets they orbit around for basically no reason. Like, it's some kind of fucking business card. Yeah, let me just sign the planet here with a few nuclear bombs. This looks like a good segue into talking about their space. God, why is it's not a good segue, you fucking dumb script? Rackle ships are really primitive by Imperium standards. Not like very primitive, because they're still fucking space stations, because they're still fucking spaceships, but they're still pretty primitive. They use dinky fucking new vision drives to move their ships, which are thrusters powered by radiation, and also shit out lots of it. They can reach good speeds with these, but it's pretty hard to not get seen by your enemy's scanners when you're constantly emitting a fucking ass ton of radiation. But also, Rackle ship classes, there are 3 known classes right now. Marauders, Manglers, and Butchers. Original names, I know. Starting with the most common class, Marauder. Marauders are built in a fuck it, if it works sort of way. They are also hella overgunned, and have no regard for layout or comfort of the crew. The guns on them are also pretty shit. Now, because talking about spaceships is boring, and I don't care about my video, I'm gonna skip over the other 2 classes and like fucking half-ass the Marauder portion, and go straight to soldiers, because soldiers are fucking rad. So I think I'll start with their base troops, the Marauders. So the Marauders are your standard raiders, mishmash of equipment, usually automatic weapons and melee equipment. Also, for some reason, most of them have a fuck ton of bionic implants, usually in the 5 to 10 range, but sometimes they'll have less. Rackle Marauders are basically just swarm troops that could probably one-on-one you, so they're swarm troops that don't suck, which is actually pretty cool. Next is the Carvers. Now, the Carvers act also sort of as swarm troops, but not really. They aren't like standard infantry, but they still run in there and fuck shit up, but they go first. You know, I should have just said auxiliary troops. That would have been way easier. My incompetence aside, that's basically the Carvers. Also, they are usually shorter and smaller than the Marauders. Next up are the Renders. Now, the Renders are fucking sick, and they're larger than standard Marauders, have a fuck ton more implants, and basically only use melee weapons. They're also kind of rare. Like, there'll only be like 1 or 2 squads in each raid. Yeah, that's a good way to segue into talking about commanders. First commander is the Broodmaster. Broodmasters are basically the commanders for the lesser Marauders, Carvers, and Renders. The Broodmasters aren't very special. Just basically Renders, but with way less combat ability and way more bionic implants. They just boss around the lesser... Morty. They just basically boss around the lessers while taking orders from the higher rank of abominations. Hey, that's a good way of talking about abominations. So the abominations are the leading group of the Rackle, the big boys, the big cheese. They command the Broodmasters and are basically the generals. They decide which raids are good ideas and which ones are just some Broodmaster's meth-induced hallucination. They are also even more bionikified. Well, It's a really shitty word. Than even the most modified broodmasters. Like, their bodies still resemble Rackle, but they can basically consider machines to some extent. That's, what the fuck? That's how much of their body is replaced by bionics. Now, next up are the Techno-Shamans. The Techno-Shamans are really cool, but unfortunately for you, my will to write this script has run out, and fuck you, there isn't gonna be a part 2. God damn, I'm fucking lazy. Holy shit. I'm making this video like a full month after I've written the script. Like, holy fuck, that's lazy. Anyways, as always, KYS.